Hey, thanks for watching Mondays with Mike. I appreciate you checking out the link. I hope they're helping you become all God's created you to be. I want to talk to you about the stewardship T's. We took a break for the resurrection, and rightly so, but I want to get back on those 4 T's. We talked about 2 of them already. I want to talk about the third. The third is your temple. And the Bible says that we're to steward, or we're to manage, or we're to utilize for somebody else's benefit our temple. In the Bible, the temple for us as New Testament believers is referring to our body. And it actually says that we were bought. We belong to somebody else. We were bought with a price, and because of that, we are to glorify God in our bodies. And I know a lot of Christians who have the ability to point out a lot of different sins. And seldom, though, do they point out the sin of not taking care of the body, because so many of us are guilty, especially in America, of not stewarding well the body. And we kind of joke about it. We make all kinds of innuendos, or we just write it off. We say, you know, God's not physical, God's spiritual, and all that kind of jazz. But the Bible is very clear that we are to steward what we have. And if you don't steward it well, you'll not be able to use it well. And I know many people who, as they age or as they advance in certain areas of life, they can't really do what God's called them to do because they don't have the physical stamina or the health to do that. And a lot of that's self-inflicted, and not because of genetics, or just because I developed something outside of myself I had no control over. And so I would just encourage you to ask yourself, and then to ask God, am I glorifying you with my body? Not just the way I use my body in ministry, but is my body bringing honor and glory to you? Do I use it in a way, certainly as I go through the course of the day, in a way that glorifies you? It's yours. Do with it as you please. But not just in the arenas I'm using my body in, but am I actually stewarding in my body? Am I sweating? I like to encourage people that I'm discipling or mentoring to sweat every day. And I don't just mean physically. I mean, I want you to sweat mentally, spiritually, relationally, and physically every day. It's part of the thing called a healthy lifestyle. And it really helps us deal with depression. It helps us deal with all kinds of stress and things that we induce on ourselves. As we exercise daily, as we demonstrate a release of that energy that God's given us to deal with problems, it helps us to become all that God's created us to be. So if you're struggling, and maybe it might be a mental struggle, it might be a spiritual struggle, it might be some kind of relational struggle, maybe you just need to go sweat. And I mean sweat physically, but in that sweating physically, you'll begin to also sweat and put some blood, sweat, and tears towards these other arenas in your life, and I'm willing to bet they can improve. I'd like to talk to the other group also. There's some people who idolize their body, put too much into it. And I just want to make sure you're not one of those, and you need to take that checkup from the neck up and say, God, do I worship exercise, or do I worship my body? Am I more concerned about how I look and what I'm doing and all that kind of jazz because I want to glorify myself with my body? No. Glorify God with your body, not yourself. So there's a healthy balance in between, and I hope that you're finding it. Thanks for watching Mondays with Mike, and I hope you're stewarding your time, your talent, your temple, and next week we'll hear about the 4th and final T. I'll see you.